Hooty hoo, all my stock market gamblers. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. I'm so glad you're here. What do we got going on? Well, we made it to the end of the week, and what a week it was, right? I mean, we hit 38 trillion in debt. We set that record, right? And we had a new record also in the stock market. Our first $5 trillion company. $5 trillion NVIDIA. Now, if it doubles again, it'll be 10 trillion. Isn't that incredible? Look, I'm an old guy. I remember back in the year 2000 when Cisco Systems, if they doubled one more time, they would have been the first $1 trillion company. And that never happened. Cisco never doubled again. But we got $5 trillion company now. Now, that's incredible to me. Now, back in the year 2000 when Cisco Systems was there, we were only $5 trillion in debt. We're 38 trillion in debt. And I think there's a correlation between having these $5 trillion companies versus a $500 billion company back then by printing an extra $33 trillion. That's just my take. Maybe these companies would have made all this money even if we didn't print it. But you got other companies out there. You got Apple, $4 trillion. You got Microsoft, $4 trillion. You got Tesla. Oh, Tesla's a little one. It's $1.5 trillion. That's its market value, right? $1.5 trillion. But yet Elon wants to be paid $1 trillion. Now that's fascinating to me. The head of Tesla wants $1 trillion when the market cap $1.5 trillion. So seriously, NVIDIA, Mr. Jensen, whatever his last name is, he should at least get $3 trillion in his pay package because he's got a $5 trillion company. We are living in some wild times here. I mean, it's incredible to me. All right, so a while back, last week or whatever, I was talking to an owner of a house for sale. Owner of a house for sale, right? Now, he wasn't all that happy. You'd think he'd be happy, right? Because prices are up. But he had been living in this house for 3 years. 3 years. Now, he bought it brand new. Brand new. You can look it up. Foster City, California. Okay, so he paid $1.8 million. I got to get back to the millions. We've been talking about trillions. Not that houses won't be $1 trillion soon, but right now they're in the one. He paid brand new $1.8 million. Okay, that sounds like a lot of money. Now he lived there for 3 years, right? Paying the mortgage, paying the property taxes. It's a townhome, so he had an HOA fee of about $600 a month on top of the taxes, on top of the mortgage. All right, so he did that for 3 years. He says he can't do it anymore. He wants out. Okay, but here's the thing. He can't sell it for 1.8. He thought he'd be able to sell it for more because that's what they told him when he bought it, that prices only go higher and to hurry up and get in at 1.8 3 years ago. Okay, well, that's interesting. What can he sell it for? I'm not sure. It's still for sale. Been for sale for about 3 months now. What's he down to? Down to 1.69. 1.69. So he's already taken a $110,000 hit, right? Okay, but that's not all. Not even close. Are you kidding me? No, it's going to cost him at least $100,000 on top of the $110,000 to get out of it. I go, why don't you just give it back to the bank? He said he was stupid. He put $300,000 down. He's going to be completely wiped out. You see, and houses haven't even really starting to fall yet, but he's pretty much lost all of his equity. Maybe out of that $300,000, he gets $50,000 of it back, right? So he costs him $250,000 that he's going to lose outright, right? But I mean, he had all those mortgage payments, all those payments for 3 years, right? Now his payments for 3 years, he could have paid about a third of that if he rented the townhome next door to him, right? Okay, look at my area. We live in a rich area. I get that. Okay. Approximately, I'm going to use rough number. Let's call it $3 million, right? There's a house for sale 2 doors down, selling for $3 million. And the house in between us, that's a rental house, right? They get $5,500. So is someone going to come in and buy the $3 million house when they could rent the same house for $5,500 a month? You see a $3 million house, you got to put 10% down, right? So there goes $300,000, but let's say you put 20% down. So that's $600,000 just gone, right? Okay, so and then you got your mortgage payment on $2.4 million. I mean, you're going taxes and everything, insurance. I mean, you're looking at a serious I mean, difference between renting and buying, right? I mean, 5,500 versus close to 2,000, right? So my point is, a lot of people have been commenting how I hurt people by telling them not to buy a house. Look at the guy that I talked to that's selling that house. He wished that he watched the Tall Mike show 3 years ago. He would have been much smarter renting, would have been probably about $300,000 or $400,000 richer. But that Tall Mike guy, he keeps hurting everybody. He keeps telling people it's a terrible time to buy a house, terrible time to get into a property. He keeps telling people to put their money in gold and silver, and those keep going up. But people say in the comments how Tall Mike, he hurts the people. He's out to get you. He's out. People think I'm doing this doom and gloom stuff so that I can get paid all the big bucks from YouTube. Oh, they give me a couple hundred. I just donate that away. It's not really that important to me. I kind of do this for fun. I do it for the love of the game. You know, Michael Jordan had a clause in his contract. It was called the love of the game clause. They could not stop Michael Jordan from playing a pickup game because he loved the game of basketball. If he wanted to go play a 3-on-3 game on cement, he could do it because he had a love of the game clause in his contract. Most players in their contract, they can't go play a pickup game. But Michael Jordan loved the game. That's why I do these videos. I love the game. A lot of people say I'm just an old guy with a microphone. And they'd be correct. I'm a boomer. I'm a clown. But here I am talking to you today. Now, here's my point on this one. Okay, so we got the house guy, right? Okay, so he's going to lose $250,000. He could have saved another $150,000 in those 3 years of payments if he had just rented a house. So really about $400,000 different, right? But houses haven't really started to come down yet. And he's already out 400 grand. What's going to happen when they start to come down? Now, a lot of people say it's completely, totally impossible that house prices could ever go back to the price they were in 2012, just 13 years ago, right? They say the probability of that is a big fat zero. I'd tell you, it's not a big fat zero. It's probably actually going to happen at some point. Now, at some point, this whole system breaks and everything comes crumbling down, and you'll probably get it below the 2012 prices. But what if it just goes down, let's just say 20 or 30%? Well, what does that do? It wipes out about 80 to 90% of the people that are living in this house. It wipes out all of their equity because that's all the equity they really have. So they will be handing the keys back. And that's where the inventory starts to pile up, starts to come on. Now, we talked about how FHA loans, 12% of them are delinquents, really 25%, but they did loan mods on the other 12%, so they count those as performing assets, right? But you see, we've been in this big real estate bubble. We've been in the big stock market bubble. You know what all bubbles end in? They end in a recession, but I'm a little bit worried about this one this time. You see, a recession, it's going to be worse than that. Why? Well, because these are the biggest bubbles, the history of the world. 16 years in the stock market, straight up, right? I mean, that is the biggest, largest bubble we've ever seen. Real estate, we had a biggest bubble back in 2006, 2007, crashed down a little bit, but then they blew the air back into the bubble, right? I mean, they even said that's why they're going to get the money printer going so we can get the air back into the bubble. And they succeeded, blew the bubble bigger, right? But this bubble's so big that we're going to skip the recession this time. I don't believe a recession. I think we're going to skip right into a depression. Great Depression 2.0. Now, this is just my take. Now, the reason for that is, you see, they're bragging. That's impossible, Tall Mike. Tall Mike, that's just completely insanity what you're talking about. We got the GDP. It's going up at a rate of 3% a year. We're not even in a recession or anywhere close to a recession because as soon as it starts to drop down, we're going to print more money, right? And so what's the debt increase at? GDP, 2 to 3%, right? A year. Okay, so what's the debt increasing at? 8, 10, 12% a year. How long do you think this is sustainable? Now, I do agree with you that we're going to do the big print, right? We're going to get a big print going. 20 trillion, 30 trillion, maybe even 50 trillion. Now, we'll be long past 50 trillion by the time that Donald leaves office because he's an overachiever, right? He's a little upset that Biden outspent him. How could he let Biden outspend him? Impossible, I say. He's going to outspend all of them, right? I mean, 50 trillion by the time he leaves office. What will that do to gold? Well, it'll be my prediction. Once again, I'm hurting people here by telling them it's going to be above $6,000, right? $6,000. Gold's going to jump up above $6,000. That's probably conservative, right? right? Silver be triple digits, right? I mean, it's just going to go below 50 now, be above 100 when the Donald leaves office. This is my take. Maybe your take's completely different. Maybe you're with, what is that, Harry Dent? $1,000 gold by the time the Donald's out of office. See, me and him, we got different things, different philosophies. Now, Donald, he's an interesting character. We've had a wild week for the Donald, right? How much does a presidential pardon cost these days? Well, the head of Binance, right, paid $2 billion to get pardoned. Aren't you glad our justice system is up for sale? I mean, me and you, we don't have $2 billion, so we wouldn't get that executive pardon if we did something bad. But if you got $2 billion lying around, you can buy an executive pardon. That's pretty cool, right? But this whole thing is in trouble. Look, it's in trouble. Now, how high do you think gold can go? People ask me this. How high? I say there's no limit. There's no limit. And the reason there's no limit is because there's no limit to the downside on the dollar, right? The dollar's going to zero, just like every fiat currency before, just like 4,000 different fiat currencies went to zero, right? The dollar's going to be no exception. It's going to be zero. There's going to come a time where you will never trade any of your gold for any fiat because it's just going to be gold's going to be the money again. Silver's going to be the money again. People say I'm an idiot when I say that God's money's coming back, that we're actually going to be using silver and gold in the monetary system again. Now, granted, I'm not against technology. Maybe it'll be digital, right? Maybe you got Brinks, they store the gold, and they got a digital token that you can use part of your gold in your transactions. And silver, look at a lot of the central banks, they want to get into silver so bad. They can feel it, right? Some of them are starting to buy silver, but it's not a tier 1 asset yet. Now, it's on the endangered species list or whatever that is, critical mineral list. You know what I mean. But anyway, silver is not a tier 1 asset, so the central banks aren't stacking that one yet. And plus, it's a small market cap. You realize gold's now over $30 trillion market cap. Silver about 1/10 of that, about $3 trillion. But I think it's going to catch up in total market cap, percentage-wise, to gold, because right now we're at 80 to 1. I do think that's going to get down well below 20 to 1. So silver will outperform gold by approximately 4 times, but gold, far from done, far from done. And the Donald knows it. I mean, he knows he's in trouble, right? I mean, he's going to send out these digital tokens, right? The stable coin. This is how he's going to get you into the stable coin. This is what they're talking about doing. Giving every man, woman, and child, give them $2,000 in these worthless tokens. And that way they'll feel valuable. They'll feel like they'll start using them, right? You think that's going to be inflationary at all when we hand out 2,000 digital tokens to every man, woman, and child? I bet his sons are going to be the ones that are in charge of that stablecoin token that they're handing out 2,000 of them to everybody, right? It's just going to make the prices go up. It makes you feel rich because you just got 2,000, and that's the way they want you to start to transition into the digital token away from the fiat dollar currency system. But they don't want you anywhere close to that gold and silver. They don't want you near it. They don't want you looking at it. They don't want you thinking about buying it. They want to make you feel like a fool if you do. I'm telling you, listen to Tall Mike. You're going to be on the right side of this win. The right side will be the God's money, the gold and silver. You can go on those crypto things. I call them just a more fiat, right? I mean, everybody said, but Mike, you don't understand. We got proof of work. Great for you. I hope it works out for you. But Tall Mike, going to get into the gold, going to get into the silver. That's just what I'm going to do. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll see how it all plays out. Anyways, if you like this stuff, give me that thumbs up, punch the subscribe button, and get out there, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye now.